Hello everyone, this is Logan59XP here, and today, like I said we were going to, we are here to watch the Persona 4 Revival broadcast. And as you can see, this is at a reasonable time. Wow, something that's not at 6 a.m. I know, what a concept. Well, then again, most of these presentations are not at 6 a.m. It just happens to be that the one that's the most important is at 6 a.m., but we're not gonna get into all that again for the billionth time, because this is at 4, so yeah, it's gonna be starting any second now. I know I'm cutting it a little close. Probably should have started the stream a few minutes earlier, but oh well, it is what it is. So, yeah, let me just go ahead and make sure everything is set up correctly. It should be. Okay. Let's see, headphones. I have tweaked the audio setup a little bit since the last stream, although this is not going to be particularly relevant for this stream in particular, but basically, now, whenever we do another reaction stream with, like, Ethan or whatnot, the audio levels should be improved, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But alrighty then, any day now. It is 3:59. It's supposed to start at 4. Yeah, this is the first time I think ever that Atlus has done, like, what's essentially a Persona Direct, more or less. They've never done this before. They've done, like, 12 a.m. premieres for, like, openings and character trailers and stuff, but they've never done what's essentially is a direct. They've never done a Persona Direct, basically. That's essentially what this is, if the description is anything to go by, right? Join us for the Persona 4 Revival broadcast, a spotlight highlighting Persona 4 Revival's story, characters, battle system, and more. And I believe we know that Wada and some of the other guys at P Studio are going to be here. So again, this very much feels like it's going to be a Persona 4 Direct, essentially. What do I want to see out of it? Well, I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting this to be particularly long. I would like a confirmation of an OG soundtrack toggle. Like, for the whole soundtrack, not just what they did with Reload, where they added in the Yumi songs after the fact, but you can only use them in the in Tartarus. No, I mean, like give us like a normal, like when you start a new save, it's like, you know, when it asks you, hey, do you want to play with the English or Japanese voices? And then, like, right after that, give you an option that says, do you want to play with the new soundtrack or the old soundtrack? You know, I mean, I'm sure the new soundtrack's going to be good. I'm just saying that I think being able to have the original soundtrack as well is something I would very much like, and is something that should have been in Reload, and frankly should still be in Reload. A proper old music toggle, but at least we got some of the songs added later, so I'm sure at the bare minimum we'll get that in this. We'll have, like, hey, you want to hear the original version of Reach Out to the Truth and Time to Make History? We'll have a toggle for that at launch. Like, I'm sure they'll have at least that, but I want, like, everything. Oh, like a toggle for just the original soundtrack full stop. But yeah, I don't know. Aside from that, there's not really anything else off the top of my head I really would like to see. But yeah, so let's go ahead and full screen this. Now, unfortunately, this is only 1080p. This is not a 4K stream, but oh well. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm really not expecting too much out of this. I'm expecting this to basically be just an overview, you know? I know there are some things out there that I know people would like to see, but I'm not gonna really mention them unless we see them, so here we go. Oh, we still have to wait another minute? Okay, then. Got that VHS DVD combo up on the top. Yes, this is the TV and use room, obviously. with the composite jacks in the front. You love to see it. Oh, there's Saki. We saw a little bit of that. We saw a little bit of that. And of course, the Xbox event. So again, just to be clear, this is a worldwide presentation. This is not just Japan. This is not just the West. This is both. So that's why I'm saying it's basically a direct, because it's a worldwide thing this time around, which they've never done before, really. So here we go.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Persona 4 Revival broadcast. This program introduces Persona 4 Revival, launching on February 18th, 2027, or P4R for short. But first, let's talk about the Persona series. Each title in the series.
Oh wow, they're actually showing. They showed Persona 1 footage.
Persona 4 specifically is set in a quaint rural town. It boasts enduring popularity both domestically and internationally thanks to its catchy
Mystery Food X.
The upcoming release of P4R is a full remake of the fan favorite title Persona 4. Whether you've played the original or not, we'll be sharing plenty of details about what makes P4R special, including its exciting new features. So be sure to stay with us until the very end.
So, okay, I didn't mention it, but obviously we just heard the new version of Reach Out to the Truth. It sounds different, but I'm sure that once we get used to it, you know, it's gonna sound good.
They say that your soulmate will appear
Oh, this is Your Affection.
television set on a rainy night. The protagonist gets curious.
So one thing that is nice is that the new female VA sounds a lot closer to the original than Azumi did to Yumi, which is gonna help. But her delivery is definitely different.
They attack anyone who enters this other world.
Still sounds good though.
Cornered by a shadow, he awakens to the power within
So yeah, they're
his
just
heart.
explaining the story,
Then forms an investigation
in case for some reason you don't know at this point.
serial murders and unravel the mysteries of the
By the way, these subtitles, that's built into the stream. I can't turn that
So
off.
begins an unforgettable year filled with friendship, adventure, and mystery.
Just saying, in case it wasn't obvious. Hey, Valentine.
Let me introduce the members of the investigation team.
Oh, Signs of Life. Or Signs of Love, I should say.
Is the protagonist.
It is weird that they don't just call him you. This is kind of like a nitpick I've had for a while.
Live with his uncle
Like,
from Eno.
all of the characters have canon names, but for some reason, when it comes to, like, the actual game itself, they just don't want to call him that. I don't know why. They don't just call him that. Just say he's you instead of protagonist or hero.
The protagonist is classmate.
Yeah.
Cheerful and reliable, he considers himself as the team's strategist. As the
Persona
group
4 the third.
discussions and piece together clues during their investigations.
Just came in to say I've been busy during the streams, unfortunately. Yeah, you haven't been around for the last couple of them.
Satonaka.
Like, you missed out on all the announcement stuff that happened recently.
Driven by a strong sense of justice, she loves
But it's nice to see you pop in.
Excuse me, another fried rice with extra meat, please.
Yukiko.
So, one character I know people are hoping is going to be in this that wasn't in either of the previous versions is,
And a standout
oh god, what's her name? She's in, like, the anime, but she's not in the games. But in Golden, they, like, reference her.
I want to wear these instead. Look,
She, like, rides a scooter, and she, like... Basically, she's, like, the person that shows up in, like, the anime and gives you your food when you order it. I know people want her to actually be in this. But we'll see.
Marie. She may seem unfriendly and aloof, but in reality, She has a curious and outgoing
I am
personality. Seems she has
I wonder if they're gonna really change Marie all that much.
Why do you need to spend youth, though? Don't you
I don't really have an issue with Marie, but I know that there are people out there that do not like the way Marie is implemented.
you build. Enjoy the personal stories that
Maybe they'll improve it. Maybe they won't. I don't know.
Smack those muggers around, huh?
During his year in Inaba, the protagonist moves between two worlds, creating unforgettable memories while pursuing the truth behind the case. In the real world, he lives the life of a Japanese teenager.
Of the
Daily life
puppet.
and encounters with people lead to the growth
I forgot about that teacher.
of his persona.
Hey, I'm no man.
In the alternate world within the Midnight Channel, the investigation team uses personas strengthened by real-world experiences to battle shadows, exploring and taking on the challenge of solving the case.
Let's beat him up.
Yeah, I know I said this in the reaction to the last trailer, but like Teddy's voice is definitely
From
different.
activities,
Like the most different by far of any of the new VAs.
ways to spend your time.
Let's play hide and seek. You're it.
Studying, working part-time, hanging out with friends, or forming new
Oh, there's the fox.
Inaba's abundant nature also offers experiences unique to the
Did he
town.
just say Inaba
Interacting
instead of
with
Inaba?
bonds with the townspeople, you can build your social links.
Yeah, of course it is.
As your bonds grow stronger,
Menus look great,
your
obviously.
links will improve.
That's just kind of obvious,
Acquire skills
but
that give you
still.
advantages in
We hadn't seen that menu. We hadn't seen the social link menu yet.
will grow.
Oh, by the way, I was thinking.
All voice acting in this title has been newly recorded, and not only the main story. Each social link and new event will be fully voiced. We hope you enjoy the
Yeah, they also did the fully voiced social links for Reload. I don't know if they were in Royal though. I know Royal added more. Royal added more voice lines for like various scenes that weren't voiced in the original P5, but I don't remember if the social links are fully voiced in Royal. I don't think they're all fully voiced, but I know in Reload they definitely are. Up. There's great vegetables. I mean, we haven't heard him say it yet, but there's the, you know. Oh man, all of like the meme lines, all the meme lines. I'm curious to see how that's gonna go down in this game.
Your mission
Oh, there's
is
backside of the TV.
battle the shadows.
Definitely sounds different.
You all came to rescue me?
If you attack when the shadow is off guard, you can start the battle with a preemptive strike and gain the upper hand.
You can win it.
On the other hand, if you are attacked by a shadow, they will strike first, so you must be careful.
Oh crap! Two enemies. They're attacking us first.
A new guard action has been added in this game. You can guard against attacks and strike while the shadow is
So yeah, this is a feature that apparently is from Metaphor. Now, I haven't played Metaphor yet. I have Metaphor. It's sitting on my shelf alongside all the other games I need to get around to playing. But I'm currently in the process of working through Reload. You know, I picked Reload back up after not playing it for quite a while. So I've been playing that a lot recently. I haven't played it today, though, although I will almost certainly be playing it sometime later today after this. Oh, ooh, that's new. That's the first time we've seen that. Yeah, this victory screen, that victory screen looks really good. I mean, we'd seen that already, but still. It's very arena. It's a very arena-looking victory screen.
You send flying on a shadow afflicted with a status ailment to spread that ailment.
So yeah, is this like the it's going down now of Revival we're hearing? We had heard this in the last trailer, but like, is it a new battle theme or not? Because I feel like it can't be a new battle theme because we already have a secondary battle theme, right? We have Reach Out to the Truth, and then we have Time to Make History. Whereas in Persona 3, it made sense for them to make a new battle theme for the Advantage encounters because there wasn't one already. It was just Mass Destruction. There was no secondary one, right? At least not for the male MC. Obviously, there's Wiping All Out for FemC, but that replaced Mass Destruction Portable, not in addition to it.
You can go on the offensive and
But, like, are they really gonna have Reach Out to the Truth, Time to Make History, and this? Or are we gonna have 3 of them? Are we gonna have 3 normal battle themes? Because if we do, then how exactly does that work? Like, what do you have to do to get the new one? Right?
the power of the heart.
Oh, they're keeping the title theme.
The power
They're keeping the title theme. I'm very glad they are. That was something I was also really hoping for, is I was hoping they weren't going to replace the title screen music with something new. Because, you know, as someone that loves Phantom in Vanilla P5, I think it's a bit of a shame that it got replaced by Royal Days in Royal. Like, Royal Days is fine, but Phantom is just like, it fits, it's like the perfect title screen music for P5, you know? By comparison, Golden didn't change the title theme, they kept it the same. Now, the title screen itself is different, but the title theme, you know, Glimpse of a Memory, I believe is what it's called, you know, the classic piano that you're hearing right now. They never changed that in Golden, like they did with Royal, for its title theme, so I'm glad that they're still keeping it, right? They know if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That title theme for Persona 4 is absolutely perfect. And it sounds very similar to the original, too. I mean, granted, it's just a piano, but still. The limousine. It just pulls up like that. And this is the reload version of Area of the Soul, which is not surprising because, I mean, it was pretty obvious that they were going to use that version for everything going forward. Like, Persona 6 is going to reuse it in the same way that, you know, the Persona 3 version of Area of the Soul was reused for 4 and 5.
Persona 4 Revival
There's the
preserved
victory
best of the
theme.
original while adding new elements. For everyone watching this program, we present a message from the game's producer, Kazuhisa Wada.
The victory theme sounds good. Sounds like a very solid remix.
Hello. Builds on a new direction established by Persona 3, refining it into something with a completely different color. While the core gameplay systems are similar, it offers an experience that feels entirely distinct from Persona 3. The story follows a murder mystery unfolding.
Yeah, I've liked most of the soundtrack we've heard so far. It's definitely, sometimes they're very faithful, and sometimes they're definitely noticeably different. But I'm sure it'll all be solid. And the new VA, while I wish they had kept the old VA, of course, the new VA sounds good.
Even nearly 20 years later, it continues to be loved by audiences.
Sorry, I'm saying VA, the new singer.
That's exactly why.
I mean, I'm sure the new VAs will be good, but like the new singer is what I'm talking about.
The modern Persona series. At the same time, we aim to preserve the original experience while bringing the Persona 4 people remember back to life in an even more vivid way. With that vision, we began
Hey, Antonio.
Persona 4 Revival. Throughout development, what we valued most was faithfully delivering the atmosphere players felt back then. The pastoral charm of the rural town of Inaba, the everyday conversations with friends, and the gradually unfolding mystery and human drama. All of these elements form the heart of the experience, and we've carefully
Oh, there's Kanji. There's the Kanji scene in the sauna.
The gameplay itself has evolved significantly to meet modern standards. From UI improvements to more refined battle pacing and enhanced dungeon playability,
Yeah.
we focused
All the obligatory, like, you know, P5 onward improvements. We also have a Theurgy equivalent.
We are fully committed to delivering something that feels
That's the series finale is the Theurgy equivalent.
In the Persona series, music has always played a vital
Oh, absolutely. Music is like half of the appeal of Persona.
experience. Persona 4 is no exception.
This is the
soundtrack is an integral part of what
this
makes
is
the title
Specialist that
memorable.
we're hearing.
For this project, we refined all of the original tracks while preserving their core appeal. All vocal and battle tracks have been newly rearranged into full-length versions, with additional fine-tuning to better match the game's presentation and pacing. We've also created a number of brand new tracks, including the opening theme and battle music. We're confident that both newcomers experiencing
So that is the new battle theme.
longtime fans of the series will find plenty to enjoy in the music. We'll be sharing more details about the soundtrack in the future. So please
Okay.
stay tuned. Persona 4 Revival is a title we can
And this is a golden track. What they're playing right now. This is the theme that plays on the beach in Golden.
The experience blends deepening bonds with friends in everyday life, with facing the extraordinary, all woven together with a compelling mystery. It's a combination that's easy for anyone to connect with and truly captures the essence of the series.
There's the Mystery
characters
Food X scene again.
incredibly vibrant and alive. It's genuinely a game everyone should experience.
So yeah, so far I'm not seeing any real changes when it comes to like the dialogue or anything. Not that I expected them to really change it, but I know some people are, you know, oh man, they're gonna change this or they're gonna change that, you know, especially when it comes to two characters in particular. But I actually don't think they're gonna do that really. I mean, I'm not saying the dialogue is gonna be one-to-one with Golden, but like they're not gonna change the characters. The characters and who they are and their story arc, none of that's gonna change. I mean, we just saw the kanji boss with like the dang, you know, symbols and everything is still intact. You know, the kanji's shadow, but the towel is still intact. Like, I don't think, like, they're not gonna change any of that. So I don't think people need to be worried about that. Kanji's still gonna be kanji, Naoto's still gonna be Naoto. They're not gonna fundamentally change any of that.
Featured in this title. Please enjoy.
Okay, so what are we gonna see? Oh yeah, the side by side with Golden. Ooh, this new the new time to make history. This one thing I ever do. This new instrumental sounds really good for it.
Please, I'll be fine. Let's attack now. Let's do this. Konohana Sakuya.
How about it? Let's go! And now,
So step on up to the plate, meet your fate. Light and slay. Step on up to the plate.
No, I was just having him try my bento.
It's time to make history, yeah. I just want to hear the music.
Persona 4 Revival will be launching on February 18th, 2027.
Well, I'm totally in.
We hope you enjoy an irreplaceable
Oh, where's Funky Student?
country town.
We haven't seen Funky Student yet.
You sink, you fall, you break down, and you think you can't take one more round. But
A limited physical collector's edition
Of
is
course.
available for pre-orders. Please check with retailers for more details.
something's stuck in your gut, something telling you you cannot give up.
Okay, is that it? That's it, huh? Again, I didn't expect this to be very long. I expected this to basically be an overview trailer. You know, that's pretty much what it was. Oh yeah, we're gonna go. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What the heck is all this? What's all this stuff? Okay, let's go and rewatch that. We're gonna rewatch. Okay, it's about 20 minutes. Okay, we're gonna rewatch this. We're gonna rewatch this, and this time I'm gonna like. I don't think I have that much to say. Funny enough. Obviously, I all the new music is the main thing I'm like kind of trying to listen to right here. But yeah, I mean, it's Persona 4. There's really not much to say, honestly.
Persona 4 Revival.
Okay, so hold on. This is gonna be this is the Reach Out to the Truth, the new version. Oh, also we have the new Xbox. But by the way, this is unrelated to Persona, of course, but the most recent Xbox update just came out the other day, and it adds the new, like this new green Xbox logo. It adds it to the boot up animation now. So if you have a Series X or S, and I think even the Xbox One consoles get this as well. If you have any modern Xbox whatsoever, Xbox One up, you can update and you'll get the new animation with the new slick green logo they've been putting out recently, which is nice, in addition to some other neat features, but that's probably the biggest noticeable one. So anyways, unrelated, but just wanted to bring it up. Face up, I hold up, I reach out to the truth.
Broadcast. This program introduces Persona 4 Revival, launching on February 18th.
Instrumental sounds good.
Or P4R.
Obviously the new voice is going to take getting used to, but the instrumental definitely sounds good.
But first, let's talk about the Persona series.
And the new singer does fit Persona 4. She does fit Persona 4 pretty well, I think. It's just, again, we gotta get used to it.
Without needing to play in order. Persona 4 specifically is set in a quaint rural town. It boasts enduring popularity both domestically.
Hold on a second. This was probably the case in the original. I just don't remember because obviously everyone in the original game has like little chibi models. PS2 game after all. But
Is set in a quaint rural town.
okay, look how much taller Kanji is compared to Naoto. Like, I know that there's a bit of a slope right here. Obviously, she's a little further down, but like, look how much look at like his whole head is right here, and then it cuts. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It boasts
I'm
enduring
just saying.
popularity both domestically and internationally, thanks to its catchy elements and pop atmosphere. The upcoming release of P4R is a full remake of the fan-favorite title, Persona 4. Whether you've played the original or not, we'll be sharing plenty of
Yeah, the new version of Reach Out to the Truth is good. I like it. I like it. It's got its own unique flair while still feeling faithful to the original. I do not think this is because I know that the Reload soundtrack is a little controversial. I think the Reload soundtrack is largely pretty solid, but there are a couple of tracks in Reload that I know are like the ones that people are the most kind of divisive on. I think most of the new versions of the tracks sound good. In fact, there are even a couple that might be better than the originals. Like, I think, Changing Seasons? I think that one might actually be better than the original, but I think at the bare minimum, most of the Reload tracks are good. And all of the new tracks are great, right? Like, It's Going Down Now, Full Moon, Full Life, The Meaning of Armbands, which goes so hard, even though it only lasts like 30 seconds, and they totally trolled us by using it in the reveal trailer, and then only uses it for one scene in the actual game. I'm not going to say what that scene is for those that haven't played it, but The Meaning of Armbands, which is like that banging Lotus Juice track from like the reveal trailer of Reload, they only use it in one scene in the actual game, and it lasts like 30 seconds. It's kind of like, oh, come on. You should have used this for something more significant, but oh well. It's still a great track though. But yeah, all the new tracks in Reload sound great. It's really it's more so like the new like remixes of the old tracks that people are more iffy on. Again, I think most of them sound good. Although there are still one or two, like I will say this, like I know like Mass Destruction's like the big one, right? Mass Destruction in Reload is like the big one that people are very split on. I think it's fine, but I do think the original is better. If you want which I know is like probably the coldest take ever for what people think about that track, but that's my honest truth on that. I think it's a totally fine version of it. But it doesn't hit quite the same as the original. But I think most of the other remixes are fairly solid, I would say, overall. Now, I like the Persona 4 soundtrack more than the Persona 3 soundtrack. So I feel like I'm going to be more picky when it comes to how the Persona 4 tracks end up sounding in this game, but I'm sure they're going to be good. And again, the new singer, I think is a better fit for Persona 4 compared to what the new singer for P3 was to P3. Because obviously, Yumi's voice in the original Persona 3 is very unique and very standout compared to any of the other games. So replacing her, with someone that people felt was more normal, for lack of a better term, was kind of, But again, she does a great job in like all of the new tracks. So it's not that that's the issue. It's just, maybe she did. But what's also interesting is I've actually heard some of the live versions of those songs. Like the Persona 2024 concert, they had Azumi, who's the new voice for Persona 3. They had her do like Mass Destruction, and it sounds better than it does in the actual game. Like, I think she puts more emphasis and she hits those higher highs better than she did in the actual game, funny enough. So, like, she's good. She's a good singer. That's not the issue. It's just that, especially for Mass Destruction, maybe it didn't quite hit in the ways people wanted for that. But she's definitely improved since then, if the live recordings are anything to go by. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. We're here to talk about Persona 4, not Persona 3. I'm only bringing up this whole soundtrack thing because obviously this game has a newly rearranged soundtrack. And again, we just heard Reach Out to the Truth, which sounds good, different, but good. And we also heard Your Affection, Signs of Love, and a bunch of other tracks. We also heard that Time to Make History version at the very end that we'll go through again when we get to it. But yeah, I mean, the soundtrack sounds good. But again, I do hope that we get a proper full like OG soundtrack toggle, which we didn't get for Reload. I hope we get that here. But at the bare minimum, they're gonna do what they did with Reload later on, where they add in like some of the old tracks as a toggle, but only for the dungeons. So again, if for whatever reason you don't like the new version of Reach Out to the Truth or Time to Make History, you will almost certainly, even though they didn't confirm it in this presentation, they will almost certainly you will be able to listen to the original versions of those tracks in this game at the bare minimum. But I hope that they go all in and they just give us a normal toggle that just flip between the new soundtrack and the old soundtrack in the menu, like a lot of other games have, like for their remakes, right? Just give us that, and then that way everyone's happy, right? If you like the new soundtrack, great, and if you don't like the new soundtrack, no problem. You got the old soundtrack, which everyone agrees is a timeless classic. Everyone wins. Like that's what I would do, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Now, he did mention they do mention in the presentation that they will have more news on the soundtrack later on. Now, they're probably just referring to like, obviously like the new opening theme and stuff. That's probably what they really mean by that, but I do hope that when they say we'll have more news regarding the soundtrack, that is also in addition to, obviously, here's all the new songs, here's the new opening and stuff like that. But I hope they also mean, by the way, we're going to have a toggle for the original soundtrack, the full original soundtrack. That's what I hope is also going to be in there, but we'll see.
Details about what makes P4R special, including its exciting new features. So be sure to stay with us until the very end.
But yeah, I mean, this looks super, super sweet. I mean, look at this. This is so Arena. This is so Arena.
The game takes place in the rural Japanese town of Inaba. The protagonist, a teenager who has just moved to this peaceful...
Wait, hold on. Wait, we're going to be pausing a lot during this, okay? We're going to be pausing a lot during this.
Japanese town.
Oh, I wasn't... Okay, this wasn't even what I was going to look at. I wasn't even going to look at this, but screw it.
The game takes place in the rural Japanese town of...
Okay, I'm not going to do it again, but that was Nanako and Dojima in that car. And then there's Saki and her brother.
Inaba. The protagonist, a teen...
Oh yeah, so this is what I wanted to pause on. So obviously, good old 4x3 CRT. Also, sheep. Sheep. Because I guess we can't use sharp. Obviously. Although, okay, that's weird. Okay. I don't know how it's like in the... I don't remember how... Yeah, there's Nanako. I don't remember how it looks like in the original game.
Inaba. The protagonist...
I haven't played Persona 4, because my first time playing Persona 4 was through the Steam Golden version a few years ago. I started it in like 2021 or something, and then I didn't end up finishing it until 2023. So it's been so it's been like 3 years since I've last played it. I've been meaning to do another playthrough of Golden, especially once the PS4 version came out. I did get the PS4 version. I have it. I just have never gotten around to doing it because there's been other stuff I've been wanting to. Yeah, again, Persona 3 Reload, Metaphor, FF7 Rebirth. There's been a bunch of other more important, newer games I've been wanting to do. But I have wanted to replay Golden at some point. But now it's like, well, I mean, I could replay it, but now it's like, well, I don't want to replay it now because if I replay it now, it's like, why bother doing that when this is coming out? I mean, obviously, I'm gonna play through Golden eventually. Probably like years from now, but like my next playthrough of Persona 4 is definitely going to be this. Obviously, I'm not gonna play through Golden and then 5 months later I'm gonna play through Revival. No, I'm just gonna Golden on PS4. We'll just have to sit there and wait. I'll come around to it eventually. I do want to play Golden itself again at some point. But obviously, I'm going to wait for Revival at this point before I play Persona 4 again. But anyways, my main point is, what I was trying to say before I got sidetracked is essentially that TV that they showed. What's this? So why is it 16 by 9 when it's a 4 by 3 TV? Now, I know nowadays, if you watched TV, like if you watched, regular TV, cable, satellite over there, if you watched regular TV on a CRT, it would all be 16 by 9 because all the TV stations have long since shifted over to 16 by 9 as their broadcast format for everything. So you would have black bars on the top and bottom no matter what. But this game was released in 2008 and is set in 2011. And either way, whether you count it as 2008 or 2011, back then, TV stations, at least in the US, and I will emphasize in the US because obviously I'm not from Japan, but I know in the US, up until like 2013, 2014, 2015, a lot of like as far as your ABCs, CBSs, NBCs and whatnot, they would have their formatting set up so that it's like 4 by 3 is like what it's designed around, and then like 16 by 9 is kind of just an extension. Do you guys remember like back in like the late 2000s, early 2010s when the logos on the TV channels would be kind of like they weren't on the edge, they were kind of like closer to the center but not really. Like they would be like where my mouse cursor is right now. They'd be around here, right? That's because the idea is that if you're watching on a 4 by 3 screen, it would, cut off right here and the logo would be right here. But if you're on a 16 by 9 screen, then it would obviously extend all the way over here, but the logo would stay the same. However, in more recent years, since obviously 4 by 3 is now truly dead outside of retro stuff, all the TV stations have moved towards just having everything be designed for 16 by 9 with no 4 by 3 easy fallback. So that's why now, if you boot up, CBS, NBC, or any modern TV station of any kind, now you'll see the logo like more closer to the corner as opposed to right here. Why am I talking about all this when we're supposed to be talking about Persona 4? Because the point I was getting to is whether the game is set in 2008. Well, okay. The game is set in 2011, but it came out in 2008. But either way, TV stations back then would have still been formatted for 4 by 3 for the most part. I mean, obviously they would have HD options, but it wouldn't look like this. There wouldn't be these black bars in the top and bottom if you were watching, the news or whatever. And this is obviously the news, right? So I don't know. I'm being really nitpicky about something that does not matter, and I want to make it clear it does not matter. But I can't help myself because I know how it used to be up until like the mid 2010s when everything became like 100% 16 by 9. But yeah, I don't know. This should be taking up the whole screen. I'm just saying. It doesn't matter. And for all I know, this is keeping in line with the original Persona 4 and Golden. Because again, I haven't played Golden in a few years, so I don't remember when you boot up the news, if it's actually like this or not. But what I can say is, since of course this is a remake, Reload if you look at the TV in the dorm, in like the living room area, like if you boot up the TV and you see the news, it's the full, like on like the old like 60s era TV they have in like the living room in the dorm. It's the full 4:3. There's no black bars in the top and bottom. And now I know that game is set in 2009, not 2011, but still, whatever. I'm focusing way too much on a nitpicky detail that does not matter. So let's move on.
Just moved to this peaceful
It
town.
would really show up here.
Okay, so yeah, obviously this is that scene at the beginning of the game, right? Not much to say about it. It looks pretty much how you'd expect it to look, I would say. Obviously, there's Dojima. There's the crew over here.
Here's rumors of the urban legend known as the Midnight Channel.
You ever heard of the Midnight Channel?
They say that your soulmate will appear if you stare into a television set on a rainy night. The protagonist gets curious and investigates this rumor. He is pulled into a mysterious alternate world hidden inside it.
Okay, so this right here is a change that we saw in the last trailer, and I didn't even realize it was a change until other people pointed it out. But kind of infamously in the original games, what makes them all fall into the TV is essentially Yosuke and Chie are like running around, and then they somehow crash into you, and then that's how they all fall into the TV. But in this, they made it better, because instead of just being some weird freak accident, they now make it so that they're trying to pull you out of the TV. So this is the same. This bit of him putting his hand in the TV, this is the same as the original.
Alternate world hidden in
But this is different. This bit where they're trying to pull him out and then they get dragged in, this is different compared to how it was in the original. And this definitely makes more sense. And is less weird compared to how they did it in the original. Not that I have an issue with how they did it in the original, but I know that I've seen people say, hey, this makes a lot more sense. And it's not this weird cartoony whatever thing where they're all like woo, running around and then for no reason they just crash into you at the exact same time. So now it's more reasonable. Like, hey, they're trying to pull them out of the TV, and then the TV drags them all in. Like, that makes more sense. Does it does this change make any real difference either way? No, but I don't know. It's a change, and a change that I think makes sense. Oh yeah, also that line, that Yosuke line, sounded very Yuri. We heard that line in the last trailer as well, but that sounded very Yuri, even though it's not Yuri,
there.
obviously.
He uncovers clues tied to the serial murders and encounters strange creatures known as shadows.
Been throwing people in here. It's becoming a huge problem.
Man, he sounds... I know I keep saying it, but it really needs to be emphasized. Teddy sounds completely different. And I don't actually have an issue with Teddy's original voice. I think his English voice is perfectly fine. It's more so his Japanese voice. As someone that plays with the Japanese voices, and will continue to do so for this game, I think his English voice is actually totally fine. I know some people don't like it. I think it's fine. I think it fits the character fine. But I think if there was any character where deviating away from the original would make sense, it would be this. Because in Reload, most of the characters sound like what they're supposed to sound like, for the most part. Obviously, some more than others. But in this game, again, Chie, Yosuke, Yukiko, they all pretty much sound like what they're supposed to sound like, even if they're clearly not the previous actors. But with Teddy, there was clearly a decision, like, this character is going to sound completely differently, because we know people weren't thrilled with his previous voice, even though, again, I think his previous English voice was totally fine. It's more so his Japanese voice, which is the same, by the way. I've seen the Japanese trailers for Revival, and OG Teddy's Japanese voice is definitely the same. I mean, obviously, because all of the original VAs are the same, but for the Japanese versions. But that Japanese voice for Teddy, it could be better. But I think his English voice is honestly fine. But this is definitely going to be, whether or not this is a better voice for Teddy or not in English, I'm not really sure yet. Obviously, right now, I very much prefer the original English voice. But I totally understand why they would change it, though.
They attack anyone
So
who enters
drastically.
this other world.
This is a new anime cutscene. This was in the previous trailer, but I'm just saying. But like this shot of the shadow, we saw this in the previous trailer. But
Attack anyone
this shot is new. We haven't seen this shot before.
who enters this other world. Cornered by a shadow, he awakens to the power within his heart, his persona. The protagonist then forms an investigation team, setting out to uncover the truth behind the serial murders and unravel the mysteries of the Midnight Channel.
Me too. Which means that we also gotta catch whoever's tossing people in here.
And so begins an
Yeah, Yosuke sounds good. He sounds good. I wish Yuri came back, because Yuri was like basically perfect. Everyone, like half the reason why I think people like Yosuke is because his original voice was just so dang perfect for him. You know, Yuri did a fantastic job. And it is a shame that he didn't come back, especially because he wanted to come back. Like he like, at least according to what he said like a year ago, he like begged Atlas to come back, and they just weren't interested for whatever reason. Which I don't know. I still disagree, even though I think all the new voices sound solid. Pretty much. I still wish that for both Persona 3 and 4 they had kept the original voices for as much as they reasonably could have. Obviously with Persona 3, you know, obviously Junpei was always going to be recast because, you know, the whole thing with Vic, right? However you feel about that whole thing that happened, I don't really know that much about it. I don't have a dog in the race for that either way. But however you felt about what happened with Vic all those years ago, because of that, he was never coming back for Reloads. They were always going to recast Vic at the bare minimum. But the fact that they recasted everyone else, you know, it's when they really didn't need to, was kind of, you know, kind of controversial. But for what it's worth, I think the new voice cast is largely pretty solid. Fuka especially is really good. Like Fuka is like the biggest upgrade by a country mile, right? Her original VA was kind of infamous for how it sounded, but Susie Young does a fantastic job as Fuka. It fits the character really well. So, again, the new Persona 3 cast largely sounded pretty good in the end. I know Akihiko still sounds kind of weird, but everyone else is pretty good. Everyone else is pretty solid. I'm sure the same will be with this cast. You know, the Persona 4 voice cast is like super beloved, right? Like even more so than the Persona 3 cast. You know, basically no one wanted the Persona 4 cast replaced. Like there were some people that were like, you know, yeah, I like some of the Persona 3 voices, but you know, this was one of their earlier games. The direction could have been better. Some of the voices could have been better for some of the characters. Like again, Fuka is probably the most obvious one. But Persona 4, like everyone was like, no, don't you dare change the voices, even though we all knew they were going to change the voices. The second that Reload got a voice change, we knew this game was going to get a voice change. But again, they all sound good, so I don't really have any complaints. And besides, whether or not the original voice cast came back or not, I mean, I'm going to play this game with the Japanese voices anyway. So it's not going to make any difference for me personally, but, you know, they all sound good, though. They all sound good.
unforgettable year filled with friendship, adventure, and mystery in a quiet
So yeah, this is obviously the scene in Golden at the fireworks festival, of course.
country town. Let me introduce the members of the investigation team. First up is the protagonist.
I'm not gonna talk about this again all that much, but again, like I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it really quick, but just say he's Yu Narukami already. We all know that's his name. Just say it already. I really don't like this thing where they pretend the characters don't have names in like the game itself. In like the spin-offs or in the anime or in the manga, they can have a name, but not in the actual game. They're just protagonist or hero. We're gonna have this exact same thing happen with Persona 6, right? Like we're gonna get the Persona 6 character reveal, and we're not gonna know the name of the character for like 2 years until like the anime or a manga or some other thing comes out where they're like, oh yeah, by the way, his actual name is this. But whatever.
A sophomore in high school who, due to his parents' circumstances, has been sent to live with his uncle in Inaba.
Okay, hold on a second. That was very Reload.
has been
This text screen with these boxes and everything, this is very Reload. This is basically exactly the same as Reload, but yellow. I mean, not that I expected it to be any different. I'm just saying.
sent to live with his uncle in Inaba. He's caught up in a series of mysterious murders and awakens to the power of his persona.
Big bro?
Yosuke Hanamura, the protagonist's classmate. Cheerful and reliable, he considers himself as a team's strategist. As the group's moonmaker, he helps steer discussions and piece together clues during their investigations.
Let's do everything we can, partner.
He said the thing. He said the thing. So yeah, Okina City. Also.
Chie Satonaka, an energetic girl who sits next to the protagonist. Friendly, passionate, and driven by a strong sense of justice, she loves kung fu movies and meat.
Excuse me? Another fried rice with extra meat, please?
Yukiko,
That line right there sounded a little different. When we've heard her talk before, she has sounded fairly close to the Golden Voice. That line delivery. There's also one later on with like the bullies or whatever during her social link. Like that. Those two lines definitely sounded different. Actually, let's rewind real quick. I just noticed something. This is probably
Everything we can, partner.
Chie Satonaka,
Am I nuts, or is this render of her persona like is this just the vanilla render? I swear it's just the render from the original game. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Not that it matters. I swear this is the original render of the persona.
an energetic girl who sits next to the protagonist. Friendly, passionate, and driven by a strong sense of justice, she loves kung fu movies and meat.
So yeah, this shot, we've seen this shot. This is one of the screenshots we've seen quite a few times recently, actually.
Excuse me? Another fried rice with extra meat, please?
Yukiko Amagi, the protagonist's classmate and Chia's childhood friend.
Yeah, I think all of these shots, like all these persona renders, are like just the original renders. Like I'm like pretty certain that it's just her persona's like render from the original game. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying because obviously all the other portraits are like obviously this is a new portrait, this is a new portrait, but this is the same. Like the persona portraits, at least in this trailer, are exactly the same as they are in the original game. Again, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just kind of weird when like everything else is redrawn or redone.
She is the only daughter of a long-established inn and a standout figure at school. She's responsible, but she also has a bit of a spacey side and often leans on Chia for support.
I want to wear these instead. Look, I even get a nose guard.
In addition to the
Yeah, Yukiko's voice sounds pretty similar to the original.
investigation team, you'll meet many other unique characters.
How do you take yours?
Okay, go back to that Dojima. The Dojima.
You'll meet many other unique.
So obviously we had already seen this in the last trailer a bit, but I think it's I'm like, what about Dojima looks different? Because he definitely looks different in his new portrait, for sure. Maybe it's the eyes. I think his eyes are at least in this particular one. Like obviously the one we saw before, the one with the Dachi in the last trailer, was a bit different than this. But this particular one, his eyes look a little baggy. I mean, that makes sense. You know, he's busy all the time and everything, but I don't know. Is his sprite definitely I've heard people call them sprites, by the way. I've heard people call like the portraits sprites. I mean, that's probably not wrong, but when I think of sprites, I think of like, you know, Game Boy, GBA, NES, like that's a sprite. Like that's a sprite. This is not a sprite. This is a character portrait. to me, that's what this is a portrait, not a sprite. But whatever, it doesn't actually matter. I'm just being nitpicky.
Characters.
How do you take yours?
Perhaps I'll pluck that head right off.
One of them is the mysterious Marie. She may seem unfriendly and aloof, but in reality, she has a curious and outgoing personality. It seems she has some secret hobby she can't tell anyone.
These new camera angles in the Velvet Room are pretty neat, actually. Because obviously the Velvet Room in the original game was just a static shot, basically. That's all that Velvet Room was in the original, but it's cool that, like, for these interactions with Marie, like, you get like these more dynamic shots. We already saw this a bit in the last trailer, but this one shows it off even more.
Curious and outgoing personality. It seems she has some secret hobby she can't tell anyone about.
Why do you need to spend youth, though? Don't you have anything better to do? Now that I'm getting...
Just what kind of people will you meet, and what kind of relationships will you build? Enjoy the
Slender young man. I forgot the game does that in the original, right? Because you don't know. You don't know. Yeah, I forgot about that.
personal stories that unfold in Inaba City.
Well, guess I gotta go smack those muggers around, huh?
During his year in Inaba, the protagonist moves between two worlds, creating unforgettable memories while pursuing the truth behind the case. In the real world, he lives...
Man, I really wish they would just put out the soundtrack. Like, I know they're not going to put out the whole soundtrack, but at least put out, like, I don't know, like a couple of the songs. You know, I want to hear, like, the new versions of the songs without having to listen to the overview.
Daily life and encounters with people lead to the growth of both the protagonist and his persona.
Yeah, this is the scene I was mentioning earlier.
Hey, I'm no man.
Yeah, that line for Chie is like, again, that's definitely not, that's further away from the golden voice than some of the other lines have been. Not that it sounds bad or anything, it's just different.
The Midnight Channel, the investigation team uses personas strengthened by real-world experiences to battle shadows, exploring and taking on the challenge of solving the case.
Let's beat him up.
Life as a teenager is full of new experiences and encounters. From school activities
There's Ayane.
and events to after school,
There's Hanako.
there are countless ways to spend
There's the
your
motorcycle. Well, motorcycle. There's the scooter. But not, what's her name? Aika. That's the character that people want to see. I was like, there was a character earlier on. I was like, I know there's a character that was in the anime, but wasn't in either Vanilla or Golden that people really want to see get properly incorporated, and that was Aika. That's her name. She's like the daughter of the Beef Bowl shop owner. And in Golden, they added a line that like references her without saying her name directly, where basically you just barely miss her every time you come in the Beef Bowl shop, is how it worked in Golden. And people really hope that like she'll actually be in the game. Like maybe, like obviously, like no one, people aren't really expecting her to be like a social link or anything, but just like have her actually be there and have her have like a, you know, a portrait and stuff, you know. Yeah, and it's not much, but people would like her to be a part of the game. I think that'd be neat.
studying, working part-time, hanging out with friends,
Yeah, the karaoke thing is new. That's not in either of the original games.
forming new relationships. Inaba's abundant nature also
See, yeah, there's the thing I mentioned where he says the name wrong.
or forming new relationships. Inaba's abundant nature
Inaba's. You mean Inaba instead of Inaba?
also offers experiences unique to the town. By interacting and deepening your bonds with the townspeople, you can build your social links.
Yeah, of course it is.
As your bonds grow stronger, your
Yeah, this is very much similar to how the reload screen, you know, it's got the same thing where you have the tarot cards flipping when you move between them.
persona abilities will improve. You'll acquire skills that give you advantages in battle, and your power to fight in this other world will grow.
Oh, by the way, I was thinking...
All voice actors
You know, something I know I've seen some people ask for is like, give us the ability to actually walk around Junes. Right? Because in the original games, you don't get to actually walk around Junes. You can only see Junes in cutscenes. You can't actually walk around. Now, I know it's just a grocery store, but, like, Junes is such an iconic part of Persona 4 that, like, you know, being able to actually walk around it without having to use mods and stuff would be kind of neat.
Acting in this title has been newly recorded, and not only the main story, each social link and new event will be fully voiced. We hope you enjoy the even more captivating encounters and daily life. As you gain more experience,
I never worked at the bar in Golden. I believe this is a Golden edition, being able to work at the bar at night. This is not in the original game. This is a Golden thing. I never did this. In fact, I barely even did jobs in Golden on the first time I played it, at least. At least I can't really remember ever doing it. I mean, it's funny though, because I remember way back in 2019 when I played Vanilla P5 for the first time, I also didn't work any jobs, and because of that, I didn't ever get to do the what's his name, Yoshida, the politician confidant that everyone talks so highly about. And it is a good confidant, it is. But I never got to play it in my original playthrough because you needed a job in order to access it. And I didn't realize how you got a job in my initial playthrough, which is funny. So it wasn't until Royal, which was my second time playing through P5, was through Royal, that I actually got a job and I was able to, you know, do the Yoshida confidant, all that stuff. So yeah, so same thing. I didn't really do a job in my Golden playthrough years ago, but I'll definitely probably be doing that more in this one.
protagonist's social stats will be refined.
This social stats screen looks great, by the way. I love how they're incorporating like the different colors, right? It's not like, I like that it's not just yellow, right? Because Persona 3's stats screen, right? There's only 3 stats in Persona 3, right? Whereas this is the first game that incorporates all 5 of them, or at least I think it does. And I like that they've kept like the individual colors, and they didn't just make them yellow. You know, that's nice.
Depending on these parameters, the part-time jobs you can take on and the range of social links you can have will vary. Who you meet and what you do.
Yeah, they're not showing the Great Vegetables line. We all know it's coming, but they're not showing it yet.
Choices will help the protagonist grow.
Again, I know I mentioned this earlier, but man, like, all of the meme lines are not gonna sound the same, right? I mean, Great Vegetables is a pretty normal delivery, right? Like, yeah, it doesn't sound weird at all. It's just Great Vegetables. Like, it's not... It became a meme, but like the line delivery on its own is not really anything special, even though it is a meme. But like stuff like, you know, man, a watermelon, like that, like the ones where the voice delivery is what sells it, like those are gonna sound completely different. Man, a watermelon's gonna sound different. Oh, I just realized since all the social links are gonna be voiced, we're actually gonna get to hear your mother collapsed. It's so funny that is like such a meme, because when I was playing, because again, the last time I was playing Reload like 2 days ago, and I'm not gonna say what the scene is again for anyone that hasn't played P3, but I'm at a point in the game where there is a scene between one of the party members and one of their friends at school, and during that sequence, you hear my like dad collapsed, I believe is what the game said. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh god damn it, my brain is so cooked from the meme that I can't not think of the meme every time I see it now. It's like, oh man, every time now in a Persona game when I see collapsed, I just immediately think of the meme, man. I didn't even because it's not in P5. Right, I've done 4 full playthroughs of P5 over the years. I've played that game. I know that game inside and out. There is not a single time in that game, in any of the social links, as far as I know, where collapsed happens. but it happens a bunch in Persona 4, which is why it became a meme, right? But Persona 3 has at least one. Maybe there's more, but it has at least one, and I was very surprised when I saw it. Anyways, I'm getting off track here. My point is, Great Vegetables is going to sound different. Man of Watermelon's going to sound different. What other memes? It's funny how all the memes from Persona 4 are all from the same guy. Right. Those streams are great. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Joseph Anderson. He's the one behind like all of the like if you've ever seen any of those Persona 4 memes in like the last 4 or 5 years in particular, they're all from his streams, and they're all really good streams. You should go watch it. As well as this Persona 5. He played Persona 5 Vanilla, and he played Golden, and he also played Reload and Metaphor, although obviously I haven't seen his videos for those at all because I'm still working through Reload and I haven't even played Metaphor yet. But those streams are great. That's also where the useless thing came from. To be clear, the streams are great, not because of the memes necessarily, but the memes definitely add to it. The streams are solid on their own, but obviously the memes are are definitely a substantial part of it. More so for the Persona 4 ones. The Persona 5 streams don't really... It's really just the useless thing. That's really the only meme from those streams. Pretty much. It's really just the useless thing. That's about it. But Persona 4 has like 5 or 6 memes in it. Which is funny, because at the very beginning, he's like, look, I know everyone's excited to see me play this because of the Persona 5 streams, but this is not going to be anywhere near as entertaining as what those ones were. And then he completely blows past it, which is kind of funny. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. Let's just keep going.
The alternate worlds depicted on TV take on various forms. The shadows roam these realms. Your mission is to explore these worlds, battle the shadows, and rescue missing people.
So they're only showing 2 of the dungeons. They're showing, of course, the castle, and then they're showing and then they're showing the Kanji's sauna. That's it. We don't get to see any of the ones after that.
Your mission is to explore these worlds, battle the shadows, and rescue missing people.
You all came to rescue me?
If you attack when the shadow is off guard, you can start the battle with...
This advantage animation looks pretty sweet. How it goes behind the character and it's got a curve.
the preemptive strike and gain the upper hand.
Okay, you can win it.
On the other hand, if you are attacked by a shadow, they will strike first, so you must be careful.
Oh crap! 2 enemies! They're attacking us first!
A new guard action has been added in this game.
So yeah, this whole like parry thing, this is apparently from Metaphor. It's not in Reload or any of the previous Persona games, but this was in Metaphor.
You can guard against attacks and strike while the shadow is flinching, or avoid combat altogether. Use strategy to navigate this alternate world. Battles are turn-based command battles. If you hit a shadow's weak point, it will go down, and you can take another turn.
By the way, just as clarification, in my original reaction to the last trailer of the Xbox event,
Command battles. If you hit
I called this like a dryer knob. And of course, after the fact, I found out that, oh, it was a TV dial, which I kind of feel like an idiot for not recognizing that, but oh well.
the shadow's weak point, it will go down, and you can take another turn. Let's see. Persona. Furthermore, if you knock down all the shadows, you can initiate an all-out attack, dealing massive damage.
Oh, god damn it. Attack its weak point for massive damage. That's an old one, but that's just me for some reason thinking of that in this moment, but whatever.
In this game, new features have been added to this turn-based battle system. evolving into
So this is something that's notable, the Baton Pass. Now, obviously, the Baton Pass was introduced in P5 and refined in Royal, but in Reload, they don't have the Baton Pass. They have Shift, which on paper sounds like the exact same thing, because it, on paper, is the same thing as Baton Pass, where you now can shift your turn over to a different character. But the thing about Baton Pass, especially in Royal, is that Baton Pass gives you bonuses. It gives you, increased HP or SP or stronger attack damage, stuff like that. But Shift in Persona 3 doesn't do any of that. Shift is literally just moving yourself over to a different character for a turn. There is no stat boosts of any kind whatsoever. So it's nice that this game is actually going to have seemingly like the proper Baton Pass where there's actually stat buffs and stuff. That's going to be nice. Because obviously, if it wasn't going to have stat buffs, they would have just called it Shift again. But they're not. They're calling it Baton Pass. So that must mean that there's actually going to be stat buffs for doing the move this time around. Also, this send flying thing is brand new. This is not in any of the other games. This is brand new for Persona. You hit an enemy and you crash into another enemy. That's completely brand new. Also, this 4 more thing is brand new as well.
to an even more exhilarating and intense battle experience. Use Send Flying on a shadow afflicted with a status ailment to spread that ailment to nearby enemies. When battling multiple shadows, look for opportunities to knock them back and take them all down at once.
Woo! You sent him flying!
Coordinate with your team to chain knockbacks. The Compass makes it easier to team up with allies to take down enemies. Experience the thrill of coordinated teamwork by leveraging your team's unique strengths.
Chie hopping in 4K.
The gate fills, unleashed a powerful
Yeah, the prime time thing. This is brand new.
with a barrage of relentless attacks. During prime time, all skill costs drop
This arena looks really nice, by the way. Both the background and this cool effect with like the yellow tiles on the ground.
to 0. You can go on the offensive and overwhelm them without giving them a chance to fight back. Finish with a spectacular prime time finish.
That's a great name, by the way. Series finale. That's a perfect name for a new... That is a perfect name that fits perfectly with the TV theme. Only complaint, and I saw someone mention this, like, in the last trailer. I saw someone be like, hey, wouldn't it have been cool if they had called Baton Pass Recast? And once I saw someone mention that, I'm like, oh, god damn it, now I wish they called it that too. That'd be so perfect! Recast would have been a perfect name for Baton. It could still have all the effects and everything that I want, but, like, they should have totally called it Recast. It would have been perfect. That would have been a perfect name for Baton Pass in this game, but oh well, whatever. It is what it is. To be fair, this is the same game that's called Revival when they should have called it Rewind, but that's water under the bridge at this point.
To deal massive damage. Enjoy the thrill of
So yeah, this slash, this is from Arena, from what I've seen apparently.
wiping out your enemy. With new features added and battles powered up, be sure to give it a try. The power of the heart.
Yeah, again, I know I said this already, but like I'm so glad they kept in the classic piano title screen theme, and they didn't mess with it in any real way. Some, again, like all the music sounds good, but some of them are definitely more different than others. But with this one, they just were like, hey, the original theme is already a masterpiece. Let's not mess with it. It is a different version, though. I don't think it's literally just the original piano version. I think it's a new piano version, but it does sound very good and very faithful.
Persona. The power you awaken by facing the shadow self you have repressed and finally accepted.
Yeah, this is definitely a new version. This is definitely a new version of the title theme, but it sounds really good.
Only one persona.
I'm very, very happy they're keeping it, because it was already perfect.
The protagonist can freely switch between various personas. Each persona has its own unique skills and weaknesses. And by switching between them to match the characteristics of your shadow, you can gain the upper hand in battle.
Let's see.
Furthermore, as you fight more battles, your personas level up and learn new skills. Collecting and leveling personas expands your strategic options.
Jack Frost!
The Velvet Room is a special
This is the limousine rolls up like that.
accessible.
I know I mentioned that already, but still.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Here, you can perform persona fusion to combine the protagonist's personas. Combine various personas through trial and error to create your very own ultimate persona. Persona 4 Revival preserves the best of the original.
Okay, this is where I'm gonna be nitpicky again. I'm gonna be nitpicky for a second. I noticed this the first time around when we got to this part. Well, this is we're nearing the end of the video, of course. This is when Wada comes on screen. I'm gonna be nitpicky because the thing says creator message, but he's not the creator of this game. I mean, no one person really is, but he's not the director, right? Hashino, who also directed 3 and 5, he, if anything, would be the most fitting to be the creator message. So this is a bit misleading, in my opinion. They should have just said producer message, and that would have been fine. Not creator message. Now, he did work. Now, Wada has been with the series since the original Persona 3, but he didn't become the series, like, producer until, like, Royal. So, I think it's a little misleading to call him, to say creator message when he is not, he wasn't the director of Persona 4, but whatever. Again, that's me nitpicking. It doesn't really matter.
While adding new elements. For everyone watching
Yeah, the new version of the victory theme sounds solid.
we present a message from the game's producer, Kazuhisa Wada.
It's very faithful. I know I said that already, but still.
Hello. My name is Kazuhisa Wada, on a new direction established by Persona 3, refining it into something with a completely different.
He's got the anniversary shirt on.
While the core gameplay systems are similar, it offers an experience that feels entirely distinct from Persona 3. The story follows a murder mystery unfolding in a quiet rural town, a premise that might sound heavy on its own. But paired with warm, endearing characters, the bonds they forge, a vibrant yellow color palette, and an upbeat.
Oh, yeah. This looks amazing. Like this blows away the reload menu screen. This looks so good. This looks so good. this menu screen. This might be the best menu screen of the modern, like between Persona 5, Reload, and this. I think this is probably the best looking one. You know, the Reload one looked good. Don't get me wrong. You know, it has the water aesthetic with Makoto crashing down. But I always was still like, I think I still prefer the Persona 5 menu, the menus for Persona 5. But this, I mean, ooh, this is really, and we've already seen this before. This is not new, but this is the best shot we've seen of it so far. And this looks really good. The lighting on you know, the blue sky, the Persona 4 like font. I don't actually know what the font is, by the way. I don't know what the font for Persona 4 is. It's like, it's one of, you know, it's kind of like a stock looking font, but it looks really good though. Like this all just works so perfectly. Like this is a fantastic looking menu right here.
Energetic soundtrack, Persona 4 becomes something truly one of a kind. A coming-of-age mystery unlike anything.
Oh yeah, that's right. He works at the thing
Even
at one
nearly
time.
20 years later, it continues to be loved by audiences.
20 years later. Not quite 20 years. Not quite 20 years. Maybe he said almost. I wasn't paying attention. Did he say almost 20 years? He probably said almost 20.
Even nearly 20
Nearly. He said nearly 20 years. Yeah, we're getting there, though. We're getting there. Actually, Persona 3 is 20 years old this year, right? Persona 3 is 2006. So Persona 3 is 20 years old, but not Persona 4. But Persona 4 is not far off.
years later, it continues to be loved.
Also,
by
Persona
audiences
5
around
turns
the
10 this year in September.
world. That's exactly why we wanted to bring it to even more players using the expressive power and accessibility of the modern Persona series. At the same time, we aim to preserve the original experience while bringing the Persona 4 people remember back to life in an even more vivid way. With that vision, we began development on Persona 4 Revival. Throughout development, what we valued most was faithfully delivering the atmosphere players felt back then. The pastoral charm of the rural town of Inaba, the everyday conversations with friends, and the gradually unfolding mystery and human drama. All of these elements form the heart of the experience, and we
So yeah, I mean, look, they're keeping this in. This isn't, see, like, again, like, you got nothing to worry about. I'm not gonna change anything, any of that.
down to the finest detail. At the same time, the gameplay itself has evolved significantly to meet modern standards. From UI improvements to more refined battle pacing and enhanced dungeon playability, we focused on creating a smooth, stress-free experience. As a team, we are fully committed to delivering something that feels both.
Now, obviously, I don't expect them to ever tell us this officially, but I would like confirmation on whether or not Tosei is the one that's behind this. Because the rumors have been that, so P Studio themselves, which, for those of you that don't know what P Studio is, Atlus has three main divisions. There's Team Maniacs, which is like development team 1. They're the guys behind mainline SMT and stuff like, and various other titles. Then there's P Studio, which is their second team, and that is, as the name would probably imply, that is the Persona team, right? And then they have a third team, which is Studio Zero, and that's the one team that's headed up by Hoshino, and is the one that put out Metaphor, aka Project Refantasy from back in the day. And P Studio made Reload, but Revival supposedly is being offshored to Tosei, who have done a variety of other titles, including the Crisis Core remaster from a few years ago. Now, obviously, P Studio is still very much involved, but they're not the ones doing the heavy lifting. Right? Like, obviously, P Studio is the one that's doing the music, they're the ones making all the gameplay decisions, and obviously it's very much in the form of Reload, but they're not the ones actually building the game, right? In the same way that, like, Sakurai, right? He's the director of Smash, and he makes a lot of the creative decisions, but he himself doesn't literally build the game, obviously. Bandai Namco are the ones that build those games. That's essentially what this is going to be like for this game. P Studio is the one in the driver's seat, but Tosei is apparently the one that's actually putting it all together, because P Studio, once Reload was out the door, they shifted over to working on a little game you may have heard of called Persona 6, because after all, how can they do Persona 6 and Revival at the same time? Well, it's simple. They're not. P Studio is doing Persona 6, and then Tosei is doing Revival. Supposedly. Again, this is not confirmed. It's not confirmed that Tosei is the ones that are doing Revival, but it's been very much implied, and I think it makes sense, because Tosei, again, they've done other remasters and remakes in the past, and also, how else can P Studio handle two big projects at the same time, right? It's one thing for them to do something like Tactica or a smaller game like the dancing games and whatnot, but like doing two mainline Personas at the same time obviously would not be feasible, so. And also because of supposedly Persona 6 is going to come out next year. Like, supposedly the plan is essentially it's going to be a repeat of 2024, right? 2024 had Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth at the beginning of the year, right? Which is another Sega game, of course. And then a month later, we had Reload in February. And then in October, we had Metaphor. So supposedly the plan is essentially we're going to repeat that same strategy again. So we're going to have Stranger Than Heaven, which is the new RGG game, right? That's going to come out in like January or whatever. And then we're going to have Revival in February. So then therefore, Persona 6 is going to be like October, November. That's kind of nuts that we're going to have 2 mainline Persona games in 1 year potentially, right? If that's true. Now, I feel like I'm more leaning towards 2028, early 2028, mind you, like, February 2028, but still, I don't know, just because, I don't know. But then again, Atlus has been a lot better when it comes to release dates, right? Because obviously there was the whole conundrum about, Persona 5, winter 2014 on PS3, right? That obviously aged horribly. And then they did the same thing with SMT5. They announced it at the Switch presentation in 2017, and then we didn't see it for 4 years, right? But ever since then, they have done this thing where they basically don't announce a game until it's like within 2 years of release. So if they decided to finally announce Persona 6 at the Xbox event, that probably means that the game is actually not that far away. That, like, no, we're announcing it now finally because we are confident that the game is coming out, within a year or so. So September 2027 might actually not be as crazy as you would think, especially for considering how long it's been, right? We've been waiting for Persona 6 for 5-6 years now to be announced. So Ever since Royal was done, it's been when's Persona 6? When's Persona 6? And we've had, spin-offs and Reload and now Revival, and it's like now we're finally getting Persona 6. Revival for February and then 6 for like October. It's definitely a possibility. Again, they did this in 2024 with Metaphor and Reload, so we'll see.
Nostalgic and new. In the Persona series, music has always played a vital role in shaping both the story and the overall gameplay experience. Persona 4 is no exception. Its soundtrack is an integral part of what makes the game so memorable. For this project, we've refined all of the original tracks while preserving their core appeal. All vocal and battle tracks have been newly rearranged into full-length versions.
By the way, I believe I said in I don't know if I said this. Actually, I don't think I said this in the last video, but whatever. I'll bring it up anyway. So the composer, or maybe more specifically, the composer/arranger for this game, is not the guy that did Reload. It's actually a different guy at Atlus. I forget his name. I think it's Kazuha. I think I'm probably butchering his name like crazy right now because I don't say his name that often, but he has been with Atlus for a while and he did the soundtrack for SMT5 Vengeance. So it is a different guy than the Reload soundtrack. The Reload soundtrack was done by the Persona Q guy. He did the Q1 and Q2 soundtracks, and the Q1 and Q2 soundtracks, the Q2 soundtrack especially, is pretty solid. But I'm just saying it is a different person. However, what's funny is that if you actually look through the Persona 3 Reload soundtrack, honestly, not that much of the soundtrack is actually composed by the Persona Q guy. Not really. He did all of the tracks that say Reload, he did. He also did all the new songs. So Full Moon, Full Life, It's Going Down Now, Color Your Night, The Meaning of Armbands. He composed all of those, as well as all of the new all the new arrangements that have the word Reload in them. But all the new arrangements that don't say Reload were actually made by Meguro, funny enough. And that's like half the soundtrack. So my guess is it'll be the same thing here, where Meguro will do all of the more ancillary music, for lack of a better term. But the other guy he'll do the new songs, and he'll do Reach Out to the Truth and Time to Make History and all that stuff. That's what I assume they're going to be doing. It's going to be a similar setup just for this new guy instead of the Persona Q guy. That's my guess.
With additional fine-tuning to better match the game's presentation and pacing. We've also created a number of brand new tracks, including the opening theme and battle music.
So again, I'm very curious how that battle music is going to be implemented, because we already have Reach Out to the Truth and Time to Make History. So how can they incorporate another, like, how can they have a third one? Like, how are they going to make that work? Like, I don't know.
Confident that both newcomers experiencing Persona 4 for the first time and longtime fans of the series will find plenty to enjoy in the music. We'll be sharing more details about the soundtrack in the future, so please stay tuned. Persona 4 Revival is a title we can confidently recommend even to those who are new to the Persona series. At its core, the experience blends deepening bonds with...
So we're hearing the beach theme right now, I think. Why does it sound like it's literally the original version? It doesn't sound like a new version to me. It sounds like it's literally the original version.
friends in everyday life, with facing the extraordinary, all woven together with a compelling mystery. It's a combination that's easy for anyone to connect with and truly captures the essence of the series. The characters,
So yeah, there's the mystery
are
food.
incredibly vibrant and alive.
The mystery food X scene
It's
again.
certainly a game everyone should experience at least once.
Yes, they should.
At the same time, we've included plenty of elements that will feel fresh and surprising even for those who've already played Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden.
One thing that is very nice about this game is the fact that Golden exists on modern platforms. Because, you know, whether you like Persona 3 Reload or not, there is no option to play FES on modern platforms, right? There's portable, but the portable port is not ideal, and also, like, it doesn't have the 3D overworld, it doesn't have the answer. You know, it's not ideal, right? I get why they chose it, because they knew they weren't going to be doing FemC for the remake, but it is a shame that we never got FES. I still think, even though we have Reload, and Reload's great, and it has the answers, DLC, even though we have all that, I still think Atlas should port FES over and give it the Golden treatment, you know, widescreen, all that stuff. We should get so then that way every version of Persona 3 is accessible, right? You'll have, if you want to play the game, you know, as it was originally intended, well, I know not literally originally, because that'd be the original Persona 3, but you get my point. You want to play the original game as it more or less was originally intended to be played. You'll have FES, which also will have the original version of the answer. And then you'll have portable for FemC, then you'll have the remake if you want, you know, more modern visuals, more modern gameplay, all that stuff. You know, that way everyone wins. Everyone gets their preferred version of Persona 3, available on all modern platforms. We don't have that right now. But we will have that with this. Now, I know that there are people out there that prefer the original PS2 game because of the atmosphere and stuff, or the game balance, but Golden is basically the definitive version. It's not like with FES and portable where it's like split. Like, no, Golden is the version of the game, right, to play, right? We'll have that on all, you know, it's on Steam, it's on Xbox, it's on PlayStation, it's on Switch, and it's not going anywhere, right? So if people don't like Revival, and Revival looks great, but if people don't like Revival, or if they just prefer Golden exists. You don't have to jump through hoops to play it, which you don't have with FES, where you have to jump through hoops to play FES, but you don't have to do that with Golden, which is nice. So that means, you know, you'll be able to, so if you want to experience, quote unquote, the original Persona 4, I know it's not literally the original Persona 4, but you know what I mean. If you want to experience the original incarnation of Persona 4, we'll say, you got Golden there, it's $20, it's on everything. But if you want to experience it with newer visuals, newer audio, new features, you got Revival. And either way, everyone wins. So it's nice that Persona 4 will not have the same issues as Persona 3 when it comes to having every version be accessible. So that'll be nice.
I've personally played the game many times and know it inside out, yet during testing, it still felt new. I even found myself genuinely enjoying it despite it being work, which is pretty rare. Of course, there's new content, but even beyond that, the enhancements and overall presentation bring a level of immersion that exceeded my expectations. I think players will come away feeling that it's familiar, yet new. We'd love for you to return to Inaba and experience that unforgettable.
By the way, I haven't brought this up at all, but they haven't shown Adachi. They haven't shown him once. We saw him in the Xbox trailer for that brief second at the beginning, but no voice and no portrait. And they still haven't shown us the voice of the portrait yet.
Year once again. Now let's take a look back at the key remake elements featured in this title. Please enjoy.
Ooh, yeah, like this intro to Time to Make History sounds amazing. Yeah. Like it sounds like it's going for like a hard, kind of a harder rock feel than the original. Oh yeah, the side by side. Here's Golden here, and of course it's the Golden because in Japan, Golden and Royal are called the Golden and the Royal. But yeah. Yeah, Time to Make History sounds fantastic.
Okay.
Again, Atlas, please just put out these, just put these out so we don't have to do reconstructions to hear them. There's actually this one guy on YouTube that made a really good recreation of the new battle theme that sounds damn near perfect. He also did one for Your Affection, although obviously not with the new voice, the new singer. But I don't know, I'm sure he's going to be making recreations of all of these, you know, trying to get them to sound as legit as possible. I'm sure he'll do a good job. But it'd be nice if we had the actual, just put them out on like Spotify or YouTube or whatever. Just put them out. Just give us at least a couple of them, you know? Yeah, I'm really liking this new version of Time to Make History. I think this is my favorite of the remixes we've heard so far.
I don't mean that in a jealous way or anything. Well, I was just having him try my bento.
Besides, I'm more the advisor type, you know?
Oh, you should make a flower too, big bro.
Persona 4 Revival will be launching on February 18th, 2027.
Well, I'm totally in.
We hope you enjoy an irreplaceable year in a peaceful country town.
You sink, you fall, you break down, and you think you can take one more round. But
A limited physical collector's edition is available for pre-orders. Please.
So one thing I'm actually debating on right now is, of course, this game is going to be on Game Pass, like a lot of the recent Personas have been. And by the way, Persona 6 is going to be on Game Pass too. I kind of forgot about that when they revealed it because we were all too focused on, wow, look, it's Persona 6. But Persona 6 is going to be on Game Pass day one. That's a massive, massive deal. Like a bigger deal than any of these other ones being on Game Pass have been. But since it's on Game Pass, you know, do I play it on Game? Because I have Game Pass, of course, right? Do I play it on Game Pass or do it? Because I want a physical copy of this. I want to get this on PS5 because I have all the other Personas on PS5 physically for the most part, right? I got Vanilla P5. I got my Royal Steelbook from 2020. I got Royal PS5 regular that I got a few years later for cheap. I got Strikers day one with the Steelbook. I got Persona 3 Reload. I got Metaphor. You know, I wanna add both Revival and Persona 6 to that set. But if they're gonna be on Game Pass, it's gonna be tempting to not just play it that way. But I don't know. Then again, we're gonna have FF7 coming out at around the same time as Revival, which, by the way, also mirrors how it was a few years ago, right? When Rebirth and Reload launched at around the same time. So it's kind of funny that's also lining up again. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna want to play FF7. So if I could save $70, at least for, you know, that'd be nice. But you know, especially because Persona 3 Reload, by the end of the year, you could get it for like $20-$30. So I really could just get away with, you know, playing my initial playthrough on like the Series X through Game Pass. And then like later in the year when I can get it for cheaper, I'll get a physical copy for the next playthrough or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to be getting any of the special editions or anything, but I do want to get a physical copy of this game. But we'll see. You know, it's going to be hard to, you know, if I could save $70 just by playing it on Game Pass, it's going to be hard to not want to do that. But we'll see.
Check with retailers for more details.
Something stuck in your gut, something telling you cannot give up.
Alrighty, there we go. That lasted probably a lot longer than I originally thought it would, but you know what? That was cool. Oh, look at that first comment. Look at that first comment. They are hiding the Adachi sprite like it's the Mona Lisa. Yeah, they are definitely hiding it for sure. Yeah, acknowledging Persona 1. Yeah, I was surprised. That was definitely surprising to see Persona 1 actually get shown off. I think that was the PSP version they showed, but yeah, that was kind of neat. But yeah, so yeah, yeah, it looks good, looks great. Looking forward to it again. I don't know. As of right now, I'm gonna say I'm gonna end up playing it through Game Pass, but I do want a physical copy on PS5 at some point at least. But we'll see when the time comes. But yeah, so it looks great. The new music sounds good. I really like that new Time to Make History, particularly the instrumental part of it. Yeah, it looks good. I think I've said all I really need to say about it. This stream has gone on for long enough. I mean, that was like, what, a 20-minute video, and we've been here dissecting it for like over an hour. I think I've said what I needed to say. So, yeah, looks good. Looking forward to it. Yeah, so I guess before we leave things off here, I want to go ahead and address, this has nothing to do with the stream itself really, but there are a couple of comments from Antonio here I haven't gotten around to responding to, so apologies, assuming you're still here, so I'll go ahead and respond to them now. Tickets go on sale for Spider-Man Brand New Day yesterday. Yeah, so a new trailer came out yesterday, and I actually haven't seen it yet, funny enough. That is how disconnected from Marvel I am right now. I haven't even watched the new Spider-Man trailer, and it's Spider-Man. I haven't even watched it yet. Now I'm gonna watch it, but I haven't even watched that yet. But yeah, so I mean, that's coming out next month, so it's coming soon, but it doesn't really feel like it because I'm just not in a Marvel mood. You know, I haven't been for a while, so it's kind of just not. I mean, obviously we're gonna go see it. But like, I just haven't been thinking about it pretty much at all, really. But I'll have to go watch the new trailer though. Yeah, I heard America is burying a time capsule that won't be opened until 2276. Obviously, because it's 1776, I assume. So we'll have a hard time surpassing that year. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but yeah, 20. I have seen this has nothing to do with what the focus of the stream is, but I actually do remember years ago seeing videos on like old time capsules being opened, like old time capsule from like, 1876 being opened, or there's that one time where they buried a car in a city. It was called like Mrs. Belvedere was the name of the car, and then when they brought the car out because water had leaked into the room, it was all like ruined and rusted out and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of neat, I guess. A time capsule that obviously none of us are gonna live to see. But sure, that's neat, I guess. Again, it has nothing to do with really anything that we're talking about here. But yeah, but obviously it's the 250th anniversary this year, so it makes sense to do something like that. Time capsule that will be opened in 100 years from now. Or whatever. Actually, wait, no, it wouldn't be. No, actually, no, that wouldn't be. That'd be 200 years. That'd be 200 years from now, or whatever. But anyways, there we've covered all the comments. So again, Persona 4 looks great. Looking forward to it, and yeah, so that is probably going to be the last of these gaming presentation videos for a while, right? We've had a lot of them, right? We had the State of Play, we had the Xbox event, we had Summer Games Fest, we had the Nintendo Direct, and now we've had this. So I think that's going to be it until September. I think we're done, where we can finally put the brakes on these for a while. But you know what? But now that we're at the end of the road for kind of the big June stuff, we had a lot of good stuff. Honestly, I think this might have been one of the bigger ones we've had in a while. Like the State of Play had some great stuff in it. The Xbox Showcase had some great stuff in it. The Summer Games Fest had some great stuff in it. The Direct had some great stuff in it. You know, like it was pretty solid. And I liked how consistent it was, right? Like, I'm very, very happy that Nintendo didn't wait until like the 24th to do a Direct. I'm very glad that they did theirs on like the 9th. So it felt more like E3. I know we're never going to be able to recapture E3. I know it's never going to happen, but I do like how all these presentations were like back to back to back, it felt like. So I'm very glad that we got that, and I hope that's the standard going forward, right? I hope that Nintendo next year does their Direct, you know, alongside everyone else and doesn't make us wait until like the 24th like they have been for the post E3 presentations that they've done. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. So what's next, of course. Now, I actually do know what's next. I've mentioned this, I believe, at least once, but I will reiterate it. Battlefield Hardline, which is my first Battlefield game, and one that I think is much better than people give it credit for, is going offline. The online part of it is going offline on the 22nd for PS4 and Xbox One. The PC version is unaffected, but the console versions are. And since no one cares about this game, and because I like it, I'm going to stream it. My plan is, now, I don't know if EA has put out an official, like, the servers are going to shut down at this time, but my plan is to do what we did for the Wii U online shutdown, where we basically, we just play until it kicks us out. That's what the plan is, but we'll see how it all works out. But either way, I want to do some Hardline on that final day, whether we play up until the shutdown or not, because that's a game that, you know, Battlefield 4 is my favorite. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Battlefield 4, you know, is my favorite for sure, but Hardline was the first one for me. I do have a soft spot for it, and I do think it's a real shame that the online's being shut down for on the consoles. Now, Battlefield 4 is not affected, even though Battlefield 4 is older, so that's great. Because, man, if EA ever... I mean, I'm sure it's going to happen at some point. It's inevitable. But, like, man, I really hope that they don't shut down Battlefield 4's online for a very long time. Because Battlefield 4 is absolutely fantastic. And I've said this before, but, like, it's probably the oldest game that I still go back to and play. That hasn't been... Like, obviously, I'm not counting, like, obviously, Minecraft is older. But Minecraft is a game that still gets updates. But Battlefield 4 has not been updated since, like, 2015. Right, in terms of a game that has not been updated with any new content, it's the oldest game I think I still regularly play is Battlefield 4. You know, Battlefield 6 is great. I played I played some more of it during the recent free trial, and it very much felt like modernized Battlefield 4, which is something I've been waiting for a while. But nothing's going to be able to top Battlefield 4 for me. I just know it will. Battlefield 4 just has so much content, and it's just such a solid game. The only problem with Battlefield 4, the only problem is that it's 900p on PS4 and 720p on Xbox One. That's the only issue with it. And it never got a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X enhancement, so even on modern consoles, on the Series X and PS5, you're still stuck at those resolutions, but oh well. The point is, we're gonna stream some Hardline. My plan is we're gonna stream both the PS4 and the Xbox One version, but we'll see how it all works out. But yeah, that'll be happening in a couple of days. Again, it's happening on the 22nd, I believe. In fact, I'm gonna check right now, and see if we've got an official, like, it's gonna shut down at midnight or it's gonna shut down at this time. Because for the Wii U shutdown, it was at 4 p.m., I believe, is when the shutdown was supposed to be. And, you know, it went on for a little longer than that. But, you know, either way, I want to stream it. I don't care if no one shows up. I don't care if I'm talking to myself for 2 or 3 hours. I'm going to stream Hardline, whether people like it or not. Because this is a game that means something to me, and I think it deserves to go out on a high note for me. So, yeah. June 22nd. The game has already been delisted, by the way. So if you didn't buy the game or you didn't buy the DLC beforehand, you're out of luck. Now, obviously, if you can buy the disc of it and that'll work, but you can't buy the DLC anymore. Now, I have all the DLC for both the PS4 and Xbox One versions. Not that you're going to be able to play any of the DLC for much longer, but if you want to play, but if for whatever reason you really want to play this game and you don't have it on the platforms right now, you can go get like a disc of it, and then you can play it that way. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find an official, like, it's gonna happen at this time. I'm trying to see if I can find that really quick. That's funny. So Battlefield Hardline, I'm going to show this. Battlefield Hardline still has a page on the EA website, and right now it's $1. Apparently. Obviously, it won't be for my... I thought it got delisted, though. Oh, wait, no. It got delisted on PS4 and Xbox One. Right? But the PC version is not being delisted, and it's not being... shut down. Yeah, EA app, Steam store. So it's $1 on PC. To be fair though, this game was never popular on PC, so I can't imagine anyone's gonna be playing on it all that much. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing that at some point on the 22nd. So look forward to that. And aside from that, I don't really have any other streams planned. So that's kind of it for now. Again, I'm always thinking of stuff to do. I still want to do that Tim Cook discussion at some point that I've mentioned before. But as far as stuff I know for a fact that's going to happen, yeah, we're going to do, we're definitely going to do the Hardline kind of finale stream. But that's really all I have planned for at least the near term. So look forward to that. And again, thank you all for watching. And with that being said, this is Logan59XP, and I'll see you guys next time.